Hello everybody and welcome back to the United Stand. It is countdown to kick-off as Manchester United take on Brentford at the GTEC Stadium. We are down in London. We're in London, aren't we? And speaking of London, Maud has just made his way back up from London to join us, and I'm joined with Kev as well. Mazraoui is going to be absolutely buzzing in the Super Chats.
My handsome king Kev is back.
So we've got a great panel today and we cannot wait to get into it. Can Ruben Amorim get 2 wins in a row in the Premier League 10 months into his Manchester United tenure? That'd be a good one. Can Manchester United get an away win? 7 games without an away win. 7 away games without an away win. It's rough out here, but we got a win on the board against Chelsea and things are starting to look up, but I wouldn't underestimate how important this game is and how difficult it is. Brentford away is always a tough one, no matter the circumstances. But welcome, guys. How are we feeling? Positive vibes?
I am. I actually feel positive, only because I've not had to deal with United for the last week. Because I've been away. And you know when you're on holiday and you don't have to think about United. I didn't even watch the Chelsea game. I didn't watch it. I said, you know what? Let me just sit back, let you guys deal with it. You guys can experience United.
You know what that means, that you can't watch this game today, Mom.
The one game we actually play all right and you missed.
Yeah. Well, a little bit kind of. But yeah, now I feel a bit more positive. I'm kind of thinking, you know what? Like you said, back-to-back games, which shouldn't really be an achievement, if I'm being honest, but it's something that we can at least look forward to getting. And Mbeumo returning back to his old club. Hopefully he can, to be fair, there isn't any bad blood between them anyway, but hopefully he can kind of show them, a little something and score a couple of goals.
Yeah, he's used to that territory, and Mbeumo is used to that territory. I've got a good feeling about Mbeumo. For me personally, like I said, been our best player, I think, so far this season, or at least easily our best attacker as well, up there with De Ligt as one of the best players, but definitely our best attacker, I would say. I mean, it's going to be interesting how Ruben Amorim lines his team up. Remember, everyone, there's no Casemiro because of that red card, that silly red card. Who's going to play in the midfield? Is Bruno Fernandes going to play in the 10? We're going to use our board over there to do our predicted 11. It's become a weekly thing, and I'm really, really enjoying it. I mean, you missed it last week, Maud, but we did a poll on whether Yoro or Shaw should go as a left-sided centre-back. It was 88% Yoro. It ended up being Shaw, and the back three had a really good game, and Ricky was like, do the poll again. They better have learnt the lesson. He's been WhatsApping me all morning saying, if there's one thing you do on the countdown to kick-off, love, please will you do that poll again? I was like, of course I will, Ricky.
Okay, we'll do it later.
We'll do it when you're up there.
Yeah.
So we're going to do the starting 11, so stay tuned for that. We've got United fan outside of the Brentford Stadium, outside the GTEC. We've got a Brentford fan calling in. We've got loads of stuff coming for you, so stay tuned. Team news, everything like that. Get your super chats in. Let us know your thoughts. But kicking off, no Casemiro. How's it going to go through it? No Mazraoui. How we're going to deal with that? Mazraoui's out for 3 weeks. Dalot back in the squad. Is he match fit? There's so much to discuss. But I'm going to get the first poll of the morning run-in, early kick-off today. And that poll is, will Bruno Fernandes move into the 10 because Casemiro is out? So that is something for you guys to get in the poll and get talking about. I mean, Kev, how do you think Ruben Amorim will go about it? Because no Casemiro, no Mazraoui, it's quite a big loss for United, especially as well because Ahmad is out sadly due to a family bereavement. He won't be there. Wing backs looking sparse and midfield's looking a little bit. How's he going to work it?
I'm gutted for Mazraoui because I think we really missed him. He come back into the team. Didn't take him long to get fully up to speed. It's a huge kind of setback. The most intriguing one for me is the centre of the park. I think he's got a really, really good opportunity today to mix it up. I think there's a lot of people that don't understand why Kobbie Mainoo is not in this team. So I think he's got an opportunity today to kind of mix it up in the middle of the park. Casemiro not available, obviously sent off against Chelsea. So, I mean, personally, I'd love to see Ugarte and Mainoo in the middle today. I think you've got an opportunity then a bit further forward to play Bruno as a 10, preferred position next to Mbeumo. I think that's what I would do. Now, Ruben Roulette, it's totally different, isn't it? There will be a curveball. There'll be something today when the team news drops where we go, what the heck? Yeah, it always is. But
we said last week we want to get to a point where we're using the board to do our predicted lineup and we can basically get it nailed on.
We'll never do that.
I think we're the only team one of the only teams in the Premier League where you generally each week, I don't think any United fan could fully guess the lineup. No. It's always different, and I think the strongest teams in the league have a consistent starting 11. I understand you have to rotate, I understand injuries, but when you know your best 11 and the players are consistently playing with each other, you get that consistent level, and that's what Ruben Amorim needs to do. I mean, I just want to put it out there as well. We talked about no Casemiro, talked about no Mazraoui, talked about no Ahmad due to a family bereavement. We just want to send all of our best wishes to Ahmad here at the United stand. Obviously really sad news, and hopefully, you know, he can be back soon, but sending our best wishes to him. But also on some other breaking news, Graham Potter has just been sacked as West Ham manager as well. So that's an interesting one. Is that the first sacking of the season? I think it is.
Has to be done in like 4 games.
Yeah, I think it's the first sacking of the season. Graham Potter, no longer ruthless.
Yeah. But even going back to, you know, like West Ham are not messing about. I'm not for 1 minute suggesting sack Ruben Amorim, but you know, when you mention a stat there that we've not won back-to-back games, we're sat here possibly, you know, on the verge of winning back-to-back games for the first time under this manager. It's absolutely scandalous for a club the size of Manchester United, isn't it? When you look and you think, you know, today we could be celebrating back-to-back wins. It's crazy, but West Ham not messing about there, are they?
Nuno was first, Forest.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but that was kind of like, that was political.
That was political. It wasn't really due to results. It was more due to the fact that I think there was a bit of a clash with the board, with the ownership, with the manager. Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to say anything. I don't want to be banned from the stadium. Do you know what I mean? I think the Nottingham Forest ownership is fantastic. Thank you very much. That's what you get, isn't it? So, yeah, Graham Potter apparently informed the squad at the training ground this morning. Many players shocked by the timing of the decision, but just a little bit Premier League news to bring in. I'm not surprised. I think it's the right decision by West Ham. Timing a little bit strange.
On a match day.
Yeah, timing is very strange, to be honest with you, but I do think it was too far gone for him at West Ham. Never should have got rid of Moisey. Yep. Anyway, guys, just before we go off and try and predict the starting 11, I just wanted to bring in something which I thought was really interesting. And, you know, in games like this, and when I say games like this, I mean games against teams that are... I mean, every team in the Premier League is tough, but Brentford, we should be going there and beating them. Like, Manchester United should be going there and beating Brentford. It's not something that is guaranteed. It's always a tough game, but we should be going there and beating them. And I think it's a game where Manchester United could really do with following up on the good stats, attacking stats from the start of the season. And we've got some attacking stats to kind of bring in for you as well. Because I was looking at it, and Manchester United are up there with most touches in the opposition box. They're up there with highest expected goals, most chances created. Yet the points aren't reflecting that, and the goals on the goals for in the league aren't reflecting that. Do you think today's a good opportunity for them new signings like the Sesko, the Cunha, the Mbeumo to really go there and convert? The way Amorim said in his press conference, these are the players that can convert in the Premier League for us. This is why we brought them in, because they're going to get us the goals over the line. Do you think it's time today when Manchester United kind of follow through on them good stats that we've put up at the start of the season?
100%, but the way I look at it is like stats are just... I don't know if you ever heard that saying, yeah, where it's like stats are like a bikini, like what they show is great, but what they don't show is also very good. It's like the stats they show, like, yeah, we are playing good football, like I said, all the XGs and the most touches and all that kind of stuff. It's all amazing, but at the same time, what are they not revealing to us? What are the things that, as you know, fans or as you know, as viewers, that we're actually watching the game? Because after a lot of these games, we're not coming back saying, "Wow, what an amazing game from United." A lot of time, you're coming back from these games actually disappointed, because we're thinking how we ended up, you know, conceded 2 or 3 goals, how we ended up. Kind of losing our momentum at certain points of the game. So it's like great stats, and I'm sure eventually they will start to convert into goals. But let's also look at the reason why we haven't won a lot of these games. You know, for example, we look at the Burnley game, I'm sure our stats and our XG was amazing in that game because we created a lot of chances or whatever, but we also conceded 2 goals to Burnley. We also ended up having to have a 97th minute penalty to end up winning that game. So what are these stats not showing, and how can we actually convert those stats and kind of change those stats to help us end up, getting over the line a lot of these kind of, I say difficult games. It shouldn't be difficult games against Burnley and Brentford, all these kind of teams, but they're turning out to be difficult games. So yeah, I understand. Yeah, we probably are going to start scoring more goals because the numbers say so. But the things that they're not seeing is what I'm kind of looking at and saying, how can we fix those kind of problems in the team?
It does prove that the system can be successful. We're definitely creating a lot more chances. The stats don't lie. The concern is that we're not putting the ball in the back of the net. As Maud says, that's a great reference point, the Burnley game, because we should have been 3 or 4-0 up at half time. And this is moments when you look and you think of that Mbeumo in front of the Stretford end when he squares it to Ahmad before half time, about 8-9 yards out, and Ahmad skies it into the Stretford end. That's not an issue with the system. That's just a player not taking, an opportunity that was laid on a plate to him. But I thought after the Arsenal game, first game of the season, when I seen it, I thought we created chances, we had possession, we should have got something out of that Arsenal game. But I did look and I thought, for the future, we are definitely going to absolutely batter some teams. I hope it's today, but it's getting that early goal. Momentum, bit of confidence, and I do think if we can get into a 1-0 lead, the system is kind of set up for us then, because the possession-wise and that, it's all there statistically.
Yeah, and I actually think as well, it just takes, getting off to the races. And I think it's really important for our new signings. Really important. We signed 3 attacking players. They need to get off the mark, and they need to get goals in flow. Cunha and Sesko yet to get off the mark, and Mbeumo has got off the mark, and he looks probably the most likely. But they all need to start getting on the score sheet regularly. I mean, just for everyone who's listening just through audio, we know how it can be. If you're driving around, driving your kids to football, who knows what you're doing? Driving to your mate's house to go and watch the game, getting some sausages, bacon from the butchers to make yourself a breakfast or make your partner a breakfast. Who knows what you're doing? You might be listening. So just a few stats to bring in, and this could get you excited for today's game. Could have a few goals here. Premier League so far, shots on target, United are in second place to Liverpool. Liverpool have 23, United with 21 shots on target so far this season. And shots per 90 minutes, Man United top out the whole Premier League and Liverpool in second. We've had 15.8 shots per 90, Liverpool second with 14 shots. And this is a team that's top of the league and unbeaten as well. So it's like, if only we could follow through on this. Touches in the opposition box, Manchester United fourth in that category, 138, Liverpool third with 142, Spurs 144, and Arsenal there at the top with 150. These are all very good teams. Then expected goals, Man United top on expected goals, Man City second, Crystal Palace third. So you look at that. Again, Crystal Palace, great start to the season. Man City are a good side. We're up there with the teams that are performing very, very highly. Yet in the table, we're not quite matching up because we're just not delivering them. We've got to get off the mark and we've got to start putting goals in the back of the net. And today would be a great opportunity to do so. I mean, shot creating actions as well. United top, Liverpool second. So it just shows the attacking stats are good, but Maudsy's quote.
That's a belt of that, Maud.
Yeah, it's a great quote.
I didn't read it up, by the way. I didn't read it up.
Underneath it, you've got to start showing what you're made of, kind of. I don't know how that goes. But everyone, your opinions, get your super chats in, let us know. And vote in the poll as well. Where should Bruno start with Ahmad and Casemiro unavailable, in the 10 or in the midfield? What would you say, just quickly off the bat?
For what, sorry?
Bruno, say 10 or midfield?
10.
Yeah, 10.
10.
Yeah.
Because
Cunha is available.
Is he available?
Yeah, he's available. He's available.
Yeah.
I'm just have to wait and see. But get your super chats in. Let us know how you're feeling. 1 Inch Wonder says, Maud's bikini talk inappropriate. Son is crying now.
It is a bit early for that. But
Yeah, sorry.
Do you know what? It's past 9. It's past 9. It's past 9. Do you know what I mean?
Anything
past
goes.
9 in the morning. Anything goes. It's Saturday football. Come on.
It's because I went on holiday, innit? So
You hear worse
Jet
when you're at
lag.
Old Trafford. Come on. You've been thinking about all. Actually,
Yeah.
I'll put a zip in it. I won't tell people about the bikinis on holiday or anything like that. Anyway, guys, should we try and predict this starting 11?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's do this.
Up to the board, you guys go.
No.
I'm taking the hot seat today. I will be involved in picking the team, but guys, you've got to give me your input. Last week when we did it with Ricky, and we were kind of judging where we'd go with it. Ricky's obviously got his own opinions, quite different to the average Man United fan, but I was trying to get your chats involved and trying to get you involved in picking the 11 with us. So I will be the direct link to the audience. You guys at home, tell me who you want in this predicted 11 and I'll feed it back through to the lads who are going to be putting it in for us. So, Mods, you ready?
Let's do it.
Goalkeeper.
First time up at the board for me. I like this.
Yeah,
Let's do it,
I mean, look, we're going to start with the goalkeeper. We're just going to go through the picked 11. And are we going to try and get what we think Amorim's going to do, or are we going to do what we think?
Mix,
yeah?
Mix.
Okay, so let's start off with the goalkeeper. I actually had a lot of conversation about this. What I want to know is, because I didn't get to see the Chelsea game, what was buying there actually like?
Didn't get that much action, but for me, he was all right, but I was consistently nervous.
Yeah, there was one. What was it? The second half when he sort of come out and scrambled for the ball, and we were all like, "Woo!"
But I mean, look,
don't fill you with confidence.
The reality is, I don't think we're going to see Sonny Lamens right now.
I don't think
I still
so
can't see it happening.
What's the point of signing him?
I reckon if we put Bayern in our predicted, it gives us more chance of getting Lamens.
No, you're actually right. We should probably
Tom
do that.
Eaton, throw him in.
I'm going to put Bayern there in there because realistically he's probably got to start anyway.
I agree. And Lamens, we don't know what to expect, do we?
You guys at home are saying Lamens. Everyone wants to see Lamens start. There were some reports midweek about how much he's been impressing in training, but I think that he'll wait until after the international break to get Lamens in. That's my feeling. I spoke to Ben Jacobs midweek. We had Ben Jacobs on the show, transfer expert and great journalist, and he was saying that he will get an opportunity to be the number one Lamens. Like, he is in line to be the number one, at least up until Christmas, up until the January window. But Ruben Amorim's waiting for him to get acclimatised and settle in. Don't know whether he's settled yet. He might have settled, might have not. So I think the safe bet is probably going with Bayern, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't help that we're not in that many other competitions. So
if it was up to you guys, would you go Lamens though?
I don't see that. My thing is with Lamens is I'm not going to sit here and claim that I know how good he is, and I'm not going to pretend that he's going to be this.
Play,
I've never seen him play. I've never seen him play in 90 minutes. And I've said this before. With goalkeepers, you can't go off highlights. Every goalkeeper looks like the best goalkeeper in the world based off the highlights because it's easy to make. I'm not saying it's easy, but everyone can make a great save here and there. You know what I mean? So you have to actually watch them play in a full game to fully really know how good they are. So know how good he is, but I know what he is like. I know what Bayern is like. And I know that, like you said, very nervy. He doesn't give me any confidence. Probably doesn't give the defenders any confidence. So I don't see the harm, really, in putting Lamens in this team and letting us just see what he's like.
And you look at the previous game, the Chelsea game, it's up to these three at the back, really. This protection so the goalkeeper doesn't have to be making saves because we know he's not good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not confident in him anyway. But
yeah. But anyway, let's go on to the centre-backs. There was actually a big difference in that Chelsea game. Obviously, you guys saw it with Maguire starting and obviously De Ligt and I think it was Luke Shaw. You mentioned it before. So let's go to the central centre-back because this is the big one I really want to talk about. It is potentially going to be out of Maguire and De Ligt. But from what I heard, they actually played pretty well, all three of those defenders. So I think it'll be interesting to see who starts. But let's start with central centre-back. Who we put in there? I'm
going to be honest, I think it's going to be that same back three as Chelsea.
The exact same?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
I mean,
not De Ligt in for Maguire?
Well, De Ligt started.
De Ligt started, but he started on the right, didn't he?
God, yeah.
You mean Euro?
Sorry.
Nah, I think he'll go with the same back three. I mean, we'll just end that poll there. Where should Bruno start with Amon and Casemiro? 69% of you have said in the 10. So do you want to put Bruno in that left-sided 10 just to go off the poll there? We'll put Bruno in there because the poll has said the 10 spot. And I want to start another poll because Ricky has asked me to do it. Would you start Luke Shaw or Lenny Yoro in the left-sided centre-back role? It was 88% Yoro last time. Shaw played really well with De Ligt and Maguire. Do not get me wrong, I still think Yoro is a very good player and he did well when he came on, but Ricky wants to see if anyone's changed the tune a little bit.
It
He's
had to be Luke Shaw, didn't it, with Ricky?
But I personally, I don't know what you think, Kev. From that Chelsea game, considering how well they all did together, I don't think Amorim will change it.
But Amorim's the kind to change it anyway because this is how I look at it. I don't think Amorim knows his best team anyway in general. And the reality is, the way I would look at this season, I see this as like a a season of figuring it out. It's a season of, we're not really competing for anything. Maybe an FA Cup at one, we don't know in it, but we're not competing for any trophies. This season is really just Amorim and United just trying to figure it out, what works. I don't see the point in Maguire being our main centre-back for the whole season if the reality is next season he's not going to be that. So if you're trying to figure it out, surely you try and figure it out with the players that you know are going to be here next season, 100%. So I understand rotation and you want to put Maguire in the team because he's a valuable player to the team and he can obviously do a good job. I'm not trying to take anything away from him. But if Maguire is going to be our main starting centre-back for the majority of the games, I don't see the point in that. Yeah. Because even though he's a good player, we're kind of building him up just to kind of let it go at the end of the season anyway. Whereas players like Lenny Euro, players like, I know Mazraoui's injured, so he obviously can't play, but those kind of players, we know they're going to be here next year. It makes more sense for them to be in this team when they're available than a player like Maguire. So that's why I don't really see the point.
Integrate them into the team, yeah.
Yeah,
you want to build a solid foundation. I totally agree with that. And you've got one game a week, until the FA Cup kicks back in. One game a week to kind of trial this and get through it.
The question might be Maguire or Euro then, if De Ligt went central and Shaw went left.
I think De Ligt definitely starts.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put De Ligt in. I don't know where to put him there.
I'm going to be really, honestly, 100% honest with you. I'd be shocked if he changes his back three after the Chelsea game. We'll go the same. But do you not feel like because Euro didn't start, he might rotate the team, especially with Luke Shaw with his legs and all that kind of stuff? You don't think he's going to? It's been a week. I mean, I might be wrong, guys. I mean, what do you think? Comment quickly. Do you think he will change the back three? Not necessarily what you want. Do you think Ruben Amorim will change that back three, or do you think it'll be the same? So either go same or change. Comment now, same or change. Just quickly. In terms of the left-sided centre-back, the poll has differed a little bit. It's 33% start Shaw, 67% Euro. So Euro's still obviously massively winning, but some people have kind of cottoned onto the Shaw starting left-sided centre-back and how much Ruben Amorim clearly likes him. Yeah. It's 50-50, same or change. I think edging towards same there.
And with Maguire, he is a goal threat as well. I think Amorim does like that, innit? Don't get me wrong, he won't be the kind of goal threat that I'd be using, but you know what I mean? He does see him as his plan B, doesn't he, when he brings him on?
For the sake of it, I'm going to go the same. I think it will change. I think he'll start Euro just because I don't see why he wouldn't start in 2 games in a row. But just for the sake of it, I'm going to put the same. So was it Maguire central?
Yeah.
Maguire central. And then
Maguire.
De Ligt was on the right, I'm assuming. And then Luke Shaw.
It's got to be Luke Shaw.
Okay, let's move on to the 2 wing backs. Obviously, Ahmad's not available today. Mazraoui's not available today. Is Dalot available?
Yeah, he's trained, I think, like twice.
I don't even know who else I'd even put in there.
A couple people who's watching at home said, will Mbeumo go there?
I'd hate for that.
I don't think so.
That's a waste of talent.
Yeah. Imagine returning back to Brentford and being played as a wing back. You won't do it.
What the hell? I mean, so I don't really know who to put in there. If Dalot's not available, then the only player I can see playing there is Dorgu, really. That's the only player I've ever seen play right wing back. So I'm going to go off the basis that Dalot isn't available because I've not had any updates on him. I know you probably know more than me about it.
He's available.
He is available.
Yeah, I think he'll start.
If Dalot's available, he's definitely starting.
I think it'll be Dalot and Dorgu. Just interesting, there's a couple super chats come in. Julian Robertson says, back 3 didn't concede against Chelsea. When Euro came on, United conceded. I think he'll go the same. I mean, it's not directly his fault, but it's something to think about. I still think if Euro started, I'd be happy with it. I think we've got some centre-backs that can work quite well together there. And 1 Inch Wonder said, justice for Euro, how is Shaw benching him and Binday benching Larmans? We are our own worst enemy sometimes. I mean, look, it's a mix of what we want and what we think Amorim would do. So it's thinking about getting in Amorim's head as well. Sanchit says, Casemiro out is a blessing in disguise. Would we be happy with a draw? ? On a positive note, Mbeumo to score. It's just written in the stars. United win. And Tom McBride says, we aren't seeing Larmans until the FA Cup in January. Mark my words. Hopefully we don't get Grimsby again. Nah, I think we'll see him before that. I mean, I hope so. And would we be happy with a draw? No, I want to go there and win. Okay, so we've got Dorgu and Dalot at wing backs. I think it's our only option. We're very light in the area. Just a quick one as well. Diego Leon has travelled. He's part of the squad, so he's there if we need him, signing in the summer. Midfield 2, guys, what are you thinking?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I mean, obviously Casemiro not being available. We have put Bruno in the 10, so that's another player who would have normally started there, but he's obviously gone a bit further forward. I mean, I'm going to throw it out there, 2 names. It's probably going to be Ugarte and Mainoo. That's kind of what I'm looking at.
I would love that, man. This is the one area, though, where I'm thinking, Amorim, this is where Ruben Roulette is going to kick in and we're going to go, what?
Yeah.
It's so obvious, but it's like a tap-in. It's so easy to do, and we can all see it, but will this manager do it?
You could probably put Mason Mount in there for some reason.
It's like a tap-in and having Timo Werner up front.
Yeah, that's great analogy. I like that.
So, look, I mean, unless there are any disagreements, or do you think anybody else would start in central?
I'd be delighted to see that today.
No midfield pair gets me excited, I can't lie to you. But I do think if I was picking, I would go with Mainoo and Ugarte for sure in this game.
It's Cobby time.
Do you know what? I'll be buzzing to see Cobby Mainoo. Please start Cobby Mainoo. I really want to see him start a game of football.
I can almost see him though, because you know how much he loves Bruno midfield. I can almost see him putting Bruno midfield.
Bruno and Ugarte doesn't work though. It just doesn't work. Every time I've seen Bruno and Ugarte, I've not enjoyed my viewing experience.
Yeah, and I agree.
Try telling that to Ruben Amorim. Yeah. Be like, no.
But you never know with Amorim. Yeah. So I'm going to keep it like this because I think that's more of like what we want anyway.
Yeah.
Next is the second 10. I mean, the players that are available, you mentioned Cunha's available, Xerxes available. I think that's another interesting one. You never know what could happen there. And obviously Mbeumo. So I think I'm going to put Mbeumo in the team.
It's got to be.
It's going to be
his
Mbeumo.
Return, first time he's playing against them.
Yeah.
Has to be Mbeumo.
A few people saying Casemiro. Just a reminder, everyone, Casemiro's suspended for this game. He got a red card.
Yeah.
So that's why he's not involved in the lineup for us.
Yeah. And then lastly, the striker.
Is there I was going to say, is there an argument here? Again, the tap-in would be Sesko.
Yeah.
But you've got Cunha back as well. We have seen him play at that. But you could also argue the point of what's the point of playing a kind of false 9 when you've actually invested so heavily in a player like Sesko, and it was tough on him last week, wasn't it? He had to come off for what Casemiro did, so that wasn't. But got the flick on as well for when Mbeumo going through.
Sent off.
Yeah, it was a great header that.
So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna put Sesko in.
Personally, I would start Sesko. And would we all start Sesko?
Yeah.
I would start Sesko. I think everyone at home would start Sesko. No, I can't speak for everyone, but the majority would start Sesko. I think Amorim might go Cunha.
Yeah.
But
I think it is very tough. But like you said in it, I think Sesko he's supposed to start. Like this is what it should be. I mean, you don't go and spend £80 million on a striker and you're not starting him in a game against Brentford. 6 games into the season, you should be starting your main striker. But just the way, like you mentioned it before, just the way our Amorim is, he's very experimental. You know, he likes to try out different things, and you know how he already likes his false 9s as well. So yeah, I mean, look, this is the team. Obviously, let us know any disagreements. There probably will be a few, changes in defence. I think a lot of people might have a couple of players that they will put in different there. Maybe the midfield as well. But look, this is the team that we're going to put out. Let's see if Amorim actually.
Should we see how close we're going to get?
I don't think we're going to be close. I think Amorim's going to do something completely
different 11.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised if Mason Mount as well. He's back.
That's what I was thinking.
You know he loves him.
Yeah.
With Cunha, by the way, it's crazy to actually do a starting 11 without him. But I do have to say, when he came on in that Chelsea game, don't get me wrong, he gave his all. I don't think he looked 100% fit.
That's why I'm thinking.
I think just easing back in. I don't want any injuries, but I think off the bench he could be lethal if he's up to full fitness as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Xerxes as well off the bench. Will he get some minutes? We've got a bit of depth.
Yeah.
At the back, we're lacking a little bit. Like, no Mazraoui's a massive miss. No Ahmad's a huge miss. No Casemiro's a big miss. So we are missing some players, but we've got enough there to go and get the win for sure.
100%.
We need options on the bench, though. If you're looking to change a game, which hopefully we're not in that position today, I'd love to see a comfortable win. But you certainly need your options and to have them players on the bench, because Amorim's kind of plan B has always been Harry Maguire, hasn't it? Last 10 minutes, let's throw Harry Maguire on, and you're like, come on, man. And
one thing I will say about this team anyway is, if this works, as in like if this midfield works, if Bruno in the 10 works, I think even, I don't know, the defence works again, I think Amorim's going to have to look at it probably in the next game and think, okay, am I going to go this again, or am I going to go back to what I was used to, especially when certain players return? Because if this actually controls the midfield a little bit more than what it used to be, I don't see what Amorim will go to. I think Sunderland our next game. I think it's, Sunderland. I don't see why you go back to Sunderland game and think, I'm going to take them both out and put Bruno and Casemiro. Or, you know what I mean? Because why would you go back and reverse something that's actually making sense?
The more we're talking about it, I don't think Bruno's going to start in 10. I just don't think he'll do it for that reason. I don't think he even wants there to be a debate about it. I don't even think he wants anyone asking him in press conferences, oh, Bruno played well in the 10 against Brentford, why didn't you do that again? I think he's so stubborn and his mind is set on Bruno in the midfield, and there's quite a few people commenting as well saying no way that Bruno starts in the 10 as much as I'd want him to. It's going to be Cunha and Mbeumo Sesko. Bruno's going to be in the midfield. No way Cunha isn't starting. Quite a few people saying bench Bruno. I think that's crazy. He was absolutely unreal against Chelsea, in my opinion.
And I'm not his biggest fan of him being in midfield, but against Chelsea,
he was
there'll be argument, he's been playing against 10 men for a bit and all that, but no, he was sensational.
So let's say Bruno does go into midfield, who drops out quickly?
He'd probably be Mainu, wouldn't it? But it shouldn't be.
But anyway, that's the team, and back to Beth. What's next?
What's next? Well, I've got some super chats. I've also got a United fan calling in from outside the Brentford Stadium. So when he's ready, I will let you guys know. Ghost92 has said bench Bruno for a game, Cunha and Mbeumo in the 10s. Island Boy Trucker says good early morning from Atlanta. Good morning to you as well. Let's have positive vibes and get one step closer for Frank getting a haircut. Also, was watching this week thinking about how is someone so sick still so beautiful? Glazes out. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. Feeling a bit better now, guys. Re29 says we wanted to replace our goalkeeper for so long, finally sign a goalkeeper and use a number 2 goalie instead. It don't make sense, does it? I know he's trying to acclimatise them, but it just doesn't make sense. 1 Inch Wonder has also said justice for Euro, and 1 Inch Wonder has also said Amorim probably thinks Bruno is our best goalkeeper too. I mean, could do, to be fair, could do, but I don't think so. I think he just appreciates Bruno for what he can bring to the team, and I've got some Bruno stats to bring in to kind of celebrate him reaching 100 goals, and I do think it's massively, massively, massively underrated how much Bruno Fernandes has done for this club and brought to this team, and that's why he's not going to drop out.
Highest midfield scorer for Manchester United.
Yeah.
And you're in good company there as well. You know, some of the names that must be before, it must be like Scholes, maybe Giggs. It's unbelievable when you think.
I've got the names actually to bring in.
Remember when I asked at the meal, and I was like, is Bruno in our top 5 midfielders? And it kind of caused a bit of a, not upset, but like, everyone was like, wait. I think straight away everyone said, no way. United, no way, you can't be top 5 of them. And when we actually started naming names, it was almost like, oh wait, maybe he actually is 5th. Maybe he is 6th.
Definitely underappreciated.
Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to get up Bruno. So midfielders with 100 plus goals for United. So there is Bruno Fernandes with 100, Paul Scholes 155, Ryan Giggs 168, who's a winger as well, and Bobby Charlton 245. So the company is in.
Do they even really count as midfielders?
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I'm sorry, it is. And like when people talk so badly in his name, it actually really frustrates me because it's like he's in a category with Paul Scholes, Ryan Giggs, and Bobby Charlton. Like that's the and look at the era United are in right now. Anyway, my Bruno love will continue strongly. We have Lewis calling in. He's going to watch the game at the G-Tech to watch Brentford. Lewis, can you hear me?
Yeah, can I hear you all right?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you for joining us. How are you feeling? You feeling confident?
These games harder than being a United fan, but we've got the confidence after beating Chelsea that game, so yeah, let's all get 3 points.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see it. What are your thoughts on Ruben Amorim, just quickly, because a bit of a tough start to the season, managed to get the win against Chelsea. Are you backing him?
I like him. I don't like saying again, it's this system, it doesn't seem to be working. I think some of the substitutions are a bit strange what he does, but the passion, kind of the heart, the attitude is making the players is better than what it's been. But same again, it's this system. I just don't think it's going to work for United.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people have talked about the system, specifically Bruno Fernandes being in that midfield role. I mean, where do you prefer seeing Bruno play? Do you like him in the midfield? Would you prefer him in that front three? I mean, where would you play him?
I'd rather him be more forward. I think the problem with Bruno is Sesko, Cunha, I don't think they're going to get the opportunities what's needed if Bruno's going forward, but Bruno just can't do the job being deeper. He needs to be further forward.
Whereabouts are you now? Are you in a pub by any chance?
We come out because we need to be nice and quiet for you lot.
How,
Mate, man, here.
oh, nice.
Are you all right?
Hi, you okay? What's the vibe like down there?
It's a little bit quiet, you know. It's a little bit quiet.
Early morning, isn't it?
Busier.
Everyone's been out
it's
Friday
still
night.
quite early. I know.
Once you get in there with the away fans, it'll be top.
Carnage.
It'll be top. But I mean, in terms of the front three, who would you start today as the front three?
I go Cunha. I think Cunha's fit nice. He's made a big impact. I think the goal, but I go Cunha. Would you?
The front three he's going to play.
Sorry guys, I'm just gonna have to go just because your connection is going, so I can't quite hear you. But thank you so much for trying to come on. I just can't quite hear you now, so we're just gonna have to wrap it up, and we'll hopefully can hear from you from another time. Thank you guys. Have a few beers. Enjoy the game. Oh, it was gutting because I like to hear the ambience of where we are down there, but unfortunately sometimes Wi-Fi doesn't hold up, so sorry about that. So many people commenting saying that Lewis looks like Theo Walcott. I'm sure I'll take that as a compliment. Sanchit says, no one is saying Bruno is a bad player. He's been played in the wrong position, which makes him look bad. Hence, bench him. Rohan says, I love Bruno, but I can't get past playing him out of position. Also, I can't trust this team and their inconsistencies. JPNZ says, in New Zealand, love this kickoff time, 10:30 p.m. here. Boom. That's good for you guys.
Yeah.
8 p.m. That's crazy.
Comeron says, Bruno right wing back. He can then cross the ball to Sesko. Island Boy, thank you very much for your super chat. And Kyle Francisco says, shout out to my brother Brandon, who's suffering from food poisoning. Get better soon, Brandon. Hopefully this game makes you feel a little bit better and perks you up a bit. Everyone's getting ill at the moment. And Enchanted Angel says, we should play Bruno as a 10 and Mbeumo and Cunha in the wing-back roles with Xerxes as a 10, starting Sesko up front. I'm not sure on that one, but everyone's entitled to their own opinion. I mean, this Bruno debate is interesting because everyone says, most people, Ruben Amorim doesn't, but most people prefer him further forward. But we've just signed Cunha and Mbeumo, and then you've got Sesko, who you've got to play as well. You can only play 11. There's 3 spots. That's the way this system kind of works. When you're playing Ruben Amorim's system with that back 3, a centre back does take up a midfield role. How does it work? Do you just have to accept Bruno in midfield? Is that what you've got to do?
Okay, let me ask a question to both of you guys, and obviously people watching. At the start of the season, let's say you had 3 options in the 10, Bruno, Cunha and Mbeumo. Based off last season, you had 3 options in the 10, Bruno, Cunha and Mbeumo. Who were your 2 starters?
For me to be probably Mbeumo and Fernandes.
Same for now.
I'm talking
On the form of Bruno in the 10.
Yeah, in the 10.
Yeah.
So my thing is, if that's what the consensus was at the end of last season going into this season, why is it such a big conversation as to why we should start Bruno in the 10? Because I don't see why Amorim doesn't look at it like that as well. Because I feel like at the start of the season, surely Amorim's looking at it thinking, Bruno did so, I'll be honest, he did so much for him. If it wasn't for Bruno last season, first of all, we definitely wouldn't have made it to the final in the Europa League. No way. Yeah. And in the league, I know we did terrible anyway, but we probably would have been a lot worse. He might have been in a Graham Potter position, realistically, because they finished, I think they finished below us in the league, and Bruno was actually one of our better players, even though we did terribly. So the way I look at it is, if most people are saying, at the start of the season, they would have started Bruno and Mbeumo in those 2 10 positions. How are we not seeing that so far this season? I don't understand it. I
think that's a brilliant point. And part of me, as much, people take things so out of context and they'll spin stuff. But having a conversation with you guys, I think that's a great point that you've brought up. And I do think if I had to pick on form, it would be Bruno and Mbeumo, like you've said. And just in general, I just think Bruno is like one of the best attacking players in the league. Cunha's brilliant, but I think it's one of them where I'm happy we've got him because his release clause was this year, and I think he's going to bring so much to this team. But realistically, I do see him next year if Bruno goes to Saudi as like Bruno's replacement, but like in a year early, because plays a bit differently to Bruno, but he's very similar in terms of his attitude, his aggression, his chance creation, his ball striking ability. He's a better carrier of the ball than Bruno, and they are a little bit different in certain aspects, but that's where I see Bruno's best position, is that left-sided 10, and that's also Cunha's best position, and I see him kind of taking that mantle off Bruno, which is, I think that's a compliment to Cunha as well. I mean...
Yeah, I agree.
It does go back to the point. I was absolutely gobsmacked when we signed the two of them in the summer, because I'm thinking, Mbeumo, all over that, loved it. But at the time, I thought he's creating an issue for himself here, because once Cunha come through the door and Mbeumo, you're thinking, where's Fernandes playing here? Because, you know, he's the captain of the team. It shouldn't really be like that, but we are back at that point where, especially with Amorim, that's my criticism, is the fact that I'm looking at that. Oh, it's not even there anymore, the port's gone. But the midfield area, and we're talking about kind of shoehorning, aren't we? Now, if the fact that Casemiro getting sent off last week means that he does stumble upon playing Mainu and Ugarte as the two, and it works today, and let's say they get a little run of games, then all Amorim has done is really stumbled along that because of an injury. He's not actually gone, right, this is what I'm going to do, because we know he likes to play Bruno in there.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see what his team news is. He's very reluctant to play Mainu and Ugarte together, very reluctant to even play Kobbie Mainu, but it's T-minus 5 minutes until team news. Cannot wait to see it. Very early kickoff, early team news, 5 minutes. Be here for the reaction as we read it out. Also, guys, look, before team news, smash a like on the video. We've got nearly 10,000 of you guys up early watching along with the show with us. Thank you very much for watching. Smash a like on the video if you want Manchester United to go and win this game. Got some super chats in that I want to bring in a second, but just quickly as some breaking news as well. West Ham moving quickly. It was obviously very pre-planned. Breaking news, Nuno Espirito Santo is to be the next West Ham head coach.
The merry-go-round, isn't it?
So
Manager roulette.
Wow. Yeah.
He was just waiting for someone to get sacked to just jump into a position. So
I think it's a great appointment for West Ham.
Yeah.
I think it'll suit him massively. Yeah. But just on some of the comments coming in from you guys, because we want to get them in before this team news comes out. I think this is a good one from Abinash. Cunha, Bruno and Mbeumo are our best attackers. Is it one of them where, I mean, we've spent 70 mil on Sesko.
Exactly.
But I actually agree with that point. Like, they are our best attackers, but I want Sesko to do well, and I want an out-and-out striker. It's tough, isn't it? Because you could just play a fluid front three of them all.
Yeah.
But Sesko would have to drop out.
They are our best attackers based on what we've seen in the Premier League, because we all watch Premier League football, you know, and even like age-wise, they're a lot more experienced. So I don't think that's even a crazy comment to make. I don't think Sesko would even argue that. I don't think anyone in the team would even argue that, because Sesko he was never supposed to be better than those three players based on what we've seen already of them. So I don't think that's a crazy comment anyway. But the plan is supposed to be that Sesko should be one of our best attackers in the future. That the plan isn't Sesko walks into this team and he's better than Bruno or he's better than Mbeumo. I don't think that was even realistically going to happen. So I think going forward though, we are going to need somebody who is a striker. It's rare that we actually see teams do well in the Premier League or even in world football right now, but they don't even have a striker. They don't have somebody who is a number 9, somebody who's going to get you 20, 25 goals, maybe even 30 goals a season. It is rare that we see that. So I think we had to go and get a striker, because the whole fluid thing, it sounds great and it might work for a few games here and there, but you need an out-and-out number 9. You need somebody who's going to get you the majority of goals in the season. I
mean, just from last season, 15 goals for Cunha, 20 goals for Mbeumo, 13 goals for Sesko. When you combine them, surely with our attacking stats as well. Remember Mortis Bikini little reference. Yeah. The stats are there, right? Surely they start coming soon. Hopefully it kicks off today. And also, just to put it out there as well, in terms of Bruno Fernandes, with his 100 goals for the club, do we think it's going to be at 101 today?
Oh yeah, no, I think it will be. I think we get a penalty.
You think we'll get a pen?
I think we'll get a penalty. Not to say that Bruno only scores penalties, but I can see us realistically. I actually want for this game for us to kind of take the game to Brentford and not have any kind of like a pragmatic approach. You know what I mean, to these kind of games. And one thing that I've been critical of Amorim this season is going into games not wanting to lose rather than actually going into games wanting to win, because I feel like there's been, especially early on in the season, I felt like Amorim's mentality was, he's had a terrible, obviously, last season. I just don't want to lose. I don't want to lose any games. I'd rather just set up as defensively as possible to not lose, and then hopefully we could win. Whereas I feel like with the quality of players we have, we can go and take these games to the opposition and actually just go and win. We can actually go into these games with the mindset of we are the better team. We should try to actually win this game rather than just not lose. So I'm hoping Amorim has the same mentality, and the way he picks his team also reflects that mentality. And a player like Bruno, Mbeumo, Cunha, Sesko, they can actually get on the score sheet because we're trying to win, not trying to not lose.
The Arteta mentality.
The Arteta mentality, yeah.
Robert McCormack says, Mount says hi. Big Mount fan, Robert McCormack. Actually did score on our last away trip down to Brentford, I'm pretty sure. Unfortunately, I think they equalised quite quickly afterwards and it ended up being a 1-1 draw.
And I think the team should be heavily based on the performance last week. I know I've said I don't like Bruno in the midfield. Kind of doesn't contradict, but I thought it was one of the best games he's had in midfield for Manchester United last week against Chelsea. And again, we got beaten with this stick all week, the system only works against 10 men and all that. I read all the comments. Everyone was giving Kev it, but it can work. Can.
I mean, the team news is out for Manchester United right now. We have got it in. Quickly, prediction. Do you think Bruno plays in the 10 or not?
No.
Nope, he doesn't. So, the team news is in. Wow, this guy is not a fan of Kobbie Mainoo. It is Bayern in goal, as predicted. Same back three, as predicted. So, it is Maguire central, De Ligt right-sided centre-back, and Luke Shaw left-sided centre-back. Your wing-backs are left wing-back Dorgu. Dalot comes straight back into the team at right wing-back. Your two midfielders are Manuel Ugarte and Bruno Fernandes, and you have a front three of Bryan Mbeumo, Matheus Cunha and Benjamin Sesko.
Attacking wise, you like certainly look at that and think the balance, and as you rightly said earlier, Beth, about Ugarte and Bruno, have we ever really seen that work in the middle of the park? Again,
I don't want to be negative and get your comments in because front three, I'm starting a positive, and Mbeumo, Cunha and Sesko, love it. Love it so much. Amazing. That four across the middle, Dorgu, Ugarte, Bruno and Dalot, to me, that doesn't give competing for Europe. That, to me, is competing for top 10.
Yeah.
I love Bruno Fernandes, but Ugarte, for me, isn't good enough. Dorgu, for me, currently, isn't good enough. Dalot, for me, is a squad player. and he's, he's not been on his best form. He's just come back from injury. Bruno is an amazing player, but is that his best position? That four across the middle is weak for me. I hope I'm proven wrong. I hope they combine together really well, Ugarte and Bruno. I hope everyone has a brilliant game, but that's just a little bit that worries me. I think the back three is cracking, but it's just that midfield four-ish with the wing backs.
My only thing with the midfield, I agree. It's not like a competing for Europe kind of thing, but with the wing backs, I just think who can he pick really? He's not we were literally saying before, if it's not Dalot, I don't know who it's going to be on the right hand side. So I'm not really too bothered about that. Even though obviously I would have preferred Ahmad or whatever, but they're not available, so we can't pick them. Casemiro's not available. I would have rather him be in the midfield. He's not here. It's probably his own fault. He got the red card, so can't really blame Amorim for that either. And then Dorgu on the left again.
Oh no, you've got to play him.
Yes, I mean, so I don't really have much to say about that because we don't have any other players in those positions that are better than what we have picked. The only player that I'm actually any kind of concern about is Ugarte. And it's not because I think he's a terrible player and he might have a good game today because we are playing a bit of a weaker competition. But I just think in these kind of games, Brentford are not. They're not even as good as they were last season. They've lost probably three of their best players. They lost Norgard, they lost Wissa, they lost obviously Mbeumo.
You've got to put into perspective, Brentford have lost Bryan Mbeumo, Visser, Johan Visser, and their manager, Thomas Frank, who is a brilliant manager. They've won only one game in 5 games this season, and it was West Ham. And only West Ham and Wolves have conceded more goals than them so far. So they've got a new manager in who nobody really expected to be a Premier League manager that quickly. Keith Andrews, I think he's been thrown in the deep end. I think he's actually done a decent job with them considering their squad so far, but losing their best players, Norgard, Mbeumo, Visser, only won 1 in 5 so far this season, and only West Ham and Wolves have conceded more goals than them so far. No excuses.
Yeah, no excuses. But what I was saying in the team and in terms of the midfield, the Bruno thing we kind of we expected, but with the Ugarte thing, the way I would look at it is, like I said before, they've lost a lot of their main players. They're obviously not as good as they were last season. Last season, they absolutely piped us. I think it was like 4-0 at half-time. I remember that game. It was a terrible game. They absolutely completely just smashed us. But I'm looking at this team and I'm thinking, what? They're probably going to have Henderson in midfield. They're probably going to have Damsgaard's a good player, fair enough. And then they've got like the other new guy, I can't remember his name. Like, what's Brentford midfield again this game?
I'm going to go and get up the team.
But I look at the midfield and I think, we can dominate their midfield. And if we have players who can play on the ball, you can control the ball, control the tempo of the game, you can keep things ticking like Mbeumo, we can absolutely dominate their midfield. But instead we're going to play a play like Ugarte, who, yes, he might be very tenacious, yes, he might be able to win the ball back at certain points, but we're supposed to be going into this game thinking we're going to dominate, we're going to have 60-70% possession, and we're going to take the game to them, not putting on players, expecting them to have the ball, and we're going to be trying to win it back. So I think, again, it's a bit of a pragmatic choice when it comes to the midfielder between Mbeumo and Ugarte.
Their mid three, Jordan Henderson.
Standard, yeah, I thought so.
Yarmolenko, who United have actually been linked to.
No, he's a good player though.
We've been linked to quite a bit. Apparently we quite like him. Don't know if anything will develop there. Mikael Damsgaard, who's a bit hit and miss, but can be very good. But their front three, it's a lot better than what people would think. Like Sharda, he's great.
Thiago.
Dango Atara from Bournemouth, they bought him in for just over 40 mil. Like, he's a good player. And then Thiago is also looked decent this season. People were writing them off after Mbeumo and Vissa went, but their front three is actually pretty decent. So it's not going to be easy by any stretch, but I do expect Manchester United to
So is ours as well, isn't it? And it's nice to see. I was laughing earlier when I come in because everybody's so positive and confident today. It's amazing what a win against Chelsea did, because I think we went into that game maybe thinking, do we get anything out of this? We got over the line, we get the 2-1 to get the 3 points, and then moving on to this game today. Everyone in the group chat, has everyone predicted a Man United win today?
Everyone apart from Tull. Tull went 1-1.
Was it?
Very conservative.
That'll probably mean we get beat, because we're all so confident. But
well, the last 5 results from Manchester United against Brentford. So the last game we played against them was a 4-3 loss. Before that, it was a 2-1 win. Before that, it was that 1-1 draw where Mount scored. Then it was that 2-1 win where McTominay scored 2 goals in quick succession at Old Trafford, if you remember that one. And before that was a 1-0 win. So it's loss, win, draw, win, win. So last one was a loss. Hopefully in line for a win today. That's what we'd like to see. I mean, get your predictions and super chats in. I mean, I know we talk about this all the time, but I've got to bring it in again. I mean, let me actually take you through that Manchester United's bench as well, because I think a lot of people want to know what the bench is for Manchester United. You've seen the team news. The team news is out. Just to go through that again, if you missed it, it's Bayindir in goal. It's Harry Maguire, central centre-back, with De Ligt to his right and Luke Shaw to his left. Dalot right wing back, Dorgu left wing back, a midfield pairing of Manuel Ugarte and Bruno Fernandes, and a front three of Matheus Cunha, Brian Mbeumo and Benjamin Sesko. I've got to say, just off the back of that, I am buzzing that Sesko is starting, and I think it's a real opportunity for him today to get his first goal for Manchester United. But the bench is strong. You've got Tom Heaton, Senil Armans, Fredrickson, Heaven, Leon, Yoro, Mbeumo, Mount, Xerxes. I mean, it's not absolutely steel.
There's options.
There's options there. Mbeumo, Mount and Xerxes are the main ones I look at to think you can help change the game. And they should all get on the pitch today. But I've got to come to you, Mod, on this. Brentford away, Casemiro's out. Still, Kobbie Mainoo can't see a start for Manchester United. I mean, what are your thoughts on this? I know we talk about it a lot, but for me, it's really damning that a player of this quality can't get a start. Yeah,
look, obviously we just spoke about it before, but this is what I think. If Casemiro was starting, I would not have a problem with Mbeumo being on the bench. I genuinely would not have a problem, because I've said this plenty of times for people who obviously don't listen. Like, I don't expect Kobbie to start every single game. It's not like he's the best player in the world. He's not the best midfielder he's
an opportunity
he's a good
for him
player.
Today,
he's a good player. But if there were players in front of him who I think are having good seasons, like Casemiro, I think he's been having a decent season, and obviously Bruno's Bruno anyway, I wouldn't mind if he was on the bench. But it's the fact that he's not being able to play over Ugarte. And again, it's not even to even get onto Ugarte too much, because again, Ugarte could have a decent game today, but I just think to myself, there's no way I could look at this team and say, you know what, I'm going to pick Man Utd over Mainoo. I just can't see that. You know what I mean? I can't look at the team and think, you know what, in a game like this against Brentford, where we're actually going to be trying to score quite a few goals, we're going to try and control the majority of the game. I don't know why you look at the midfield and think, I would rather Ugarte be in this team than Mainoo, and Ugarte is going to help us control this game more than Mainoo would. I personally don't see that. Like I said before, if it was Casemiro in the team, I wouldn't mind it, but I just don't see that with Ugarte and Mainoo. And like I said, a game like this against Brentford, you'd think that someone like Mainoo would be able to get a start with Casemiro being out. You think that would make a little bit of sense, but obviously Amorim doesn't see it that way. So,
that is my criticism of Amorim at the minute, is that we're saying it about the midfield. Ex-players, Paul Scholes, whoever it might be, ex-legends of Manchester United, are all saying the exact same thing, that the midfield has become an issue. I've got no issue with Bruno playing in the 12. Why not? The 12. Play wherever he wants, playing in the number 10, because, you know, he's played really well there. But in that midfield area, Amorim had a great opportunity to start Kobbie Mainoo today. And what will he get today? 3 or 4 minutes? Is he going to do his usual, bring him on in the 86th, 87th minute just for a little cameo? There's clearly something not right, or something's happened behind the scenes, or he just simply does not fancy him. But if you can't get him when Casemiro is out suspended, and you've got an opportunity to play Bruno in his preferred number 10 position today and mix up the middle of the park, when is he going to get that opportunity?
I mean, let's run a poll, because I want to see how you guys listening or watching, whichever way you're interacting with our show, are feeling. Let's run a poll. Are you happy with the team? Not bad, would have made changes. So happy, not bad, would have made changes. They're the 3 options. Let's see how you guys vote out in there. Also, 4 minutes time, we have a Brentford fan calling in to give us his thoughts, but very interested to know the opposition perspective, so stay tuned for that as well. I mean, what I will say today is you've got a left footer on the left in Patrick Dorgu, you've got a right footer on the right in Diogo Dalot. Notoriously both not the best at getting the ball in the box crossing wise, often doesn't meet the first man or it goes flying over. But if they can get the crossing right today, Benjamin Sesko, 6'5", in the box, he should have some opportunity, shouldn't he, guys?
Yeah, no, definitely. He's not got his first Premier League. Has he got a goal yet?
No, he's not got a goal yet.
He's not got a goal yet, has he?
Kind of praying every week.
He got a penalty against Grimsby, I think, in the penalty shootout.
Oh, yeah.
You want to count that, scraping the barrel there.
But yeah, I feel like every game is kind of just like, it's like, okay, is this going to be the one? Is this going to be the one that Sesko gets his goal? And it almost feels like, surely this is the point where we're like, come on, we can get the ball to him. We can get him good opportunities. I know I didn't watch the Chelsea game, but obviously you guys mentioned that he got brought off because of the whole red card.
Yeah,
so it was a bit of a sticky situation for him, not the best situation. But I'm just kind of hoping that today we can actually see this United team, because let's be honest, the City game, I know we were all very frustrated, but it was always going to be a difficult game anyway, in general. It was going to be a difficult game. And now it's kind of like, okay, we have the opportunity, the perfect opportunity, maybe even next week as well against Sunderland. These are the perfect opportunities to see exactly what Sesko can do against a bit of an easier competition with, you know, Cunha next to him and Mbeumo next to him as well. What can he do in a full game? What can we see him do against other, you know, teams that are not as good as obviously City's, Arsenal, etc. And yeah, hopefully he can obviously get some kind of goal, maybe even assist as well. I know that you got that flicking for Mbeumo, so was it Mbeumo?
It changed the game, that though, because that's where Sanchez got sent off, but it was like a deft touch, you know, kind of flick on, and Mbeumo races through, and it's a game-changing moment. Unfortunately, he had to come off. You know, in them situations, the striker usually is the fall guy, but we are all hoping every single week that Sesko can do something. What I will say is, if I was a striker in that team and I'm looking behind and I've got Cunha and Mbeumo behind, I'm thinking, I'm getting, you know, creating chances here, and that's where it's got to come from, because I don't see it from Dorgu and Dalot.
Well, that's a really interesting point from you, Kev, and you've lined me right up.
Look at that.
It's a Heung-min Son to Harry Kane job. Cunha, Sesko and Mbeumo start together for the first time in Manchester United colours today, and they will be wearing the third kit, everyone, so we get to see a nice kit this afternoon as well. I mean, yeah, this afternoon, just about. But Cunha, Sesko and Mbeumo, they were signed for a combined £193.5 million this summer window, and it's the first time they've played together in the same team, 27th of September. So chemistry needs to be there, and that's going to come with time. But finally, all of our attacking options playing together, that should help.
Yeah, no, it should. And I think even with Bruno, you put him into that conversation as well. Those 4 players there with Bruno kind of, let's just say Mbeumo on the right, Cunha on the left, Sesko, and then Bruno just behind. That is a deadly, threatening attack. I know, yes, we haven't scored a lot of goals this season, but all together, like I said, this is the first time we're going to see them all actually play together. And I think them 4, with Bruno creating a lot of the chances, and Mbeumo even. Usually Mbeumo's kind of like our last man. He's almost like our furthest player forward. He's kind of the outlet whenever he's on the pitch. So I think today, seeing him having that kind of role with Sesko being there as well, I think even, was it the Burnley game where like, I think Mbeumo must have gone through, and then the only player who was next to him was Ahmad. That's going to be Sesko now. Sesko's going to be that player who we can actually square it to and create chances for. And obviously Cunha driving the ball and creating chances for Sesko and Mbeumo as well. We're going to see a lot of chances created today. We're 100% going to see it. The main question is, are these guys going to put it away and finish the chances? So
that's what it is, taking the chances. And then Mbeumo, I think he's had more shots on target than any other Manchester United player this season. Yeah. I love that. And at the same time, I get the argument about defences. I know for a fact if the Godfather Ricky was here, he would be saying that defences win games, you know, and that. But you could flip that and say, well, do you know what? Goals win games. And that's, from the setup of this team today, I'm kind of bypassing that midfield and I'm just looking further forward and going, look at that front three. You know, there's creativity, potentially goals in Sesko. You've got that kind of threat up front. So, yeah, forget the defence. It's all about goals today.
Benjamin says, you guys overlook how much Man Utd's attitude to try and leave last day of the window probably annoyed Amorim.
I doubt it.
I don't think so. I think he just wanted to go.
He wanted to leave on loan as well.
Yeah, he didn't want to leave
let's get that in perspective. Yeah. He wasn't pushing for a move. I've had enough of what to go. We all know it's a World Cup year, and Mainu was part of that England team. If he is not playing for Manchester United, he has every right to knock on that door and say, "Why am I not playing? You know, am I going to get game time? And if not, please, can I go on loan somewhere? Can I go to Brighton? Can I go wherever? I need to be playing football this season."
And people forget
like coming on for 3-4 minutes a game, is it?
And people forget, like, even I get the World Cup thing, but at the same time, he's also just a young player that's trying to get better. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of his weaknesses are things that can be improved by just having more game time, just being able to just go on a pitch against other Premier League opposition and be able to understand the game a little bit better. And he's going to then, because of that, improve. So, yes, the World Cup year, but also he probably just wants to be a better footballer by playing more football. And playing 5 minutes here, 10 minutes here, it's not going to make him a better footballer that much. So, that's probably one of the reasons why he wanted to go on loan as well.
Benjamin, thank you for that super chat. And I think that's a good point raised there by Mauds. Everyone's got a different opinion on this. I mean, I'm in agreement with you. But some people feel like he should stay, fight for his place. But it's really difficult with what Amorim said publicly about him competing with the captain of the club, Bruno Fernandes. It's difficult for game time for anyone in that environment. Sealand G says the gaffer knows better. He watches them in training. Zlazy says, I don't understand how Shaw is preferred ahead of Yoro at centre back. Something must have happened. Also, Bruno at centre mid can work if one of the centre backs would push up. It's lazy. Honestly, people don't like me hearing it. I spoke to people in and around United. Every manager who's come in the door just says Luke Shaw's world class. They watch him in training every day. If he's fit, he often plays. He's played by the managers. It's just that the managers like him. Like, it's just what it is, and it's not a slight on Yoro. I think if anything, Yoro would probably be competing with Maguire right now. After that City game, he took him out. And I don't know why it was. I think it was maybe him not jumping into midfield as often as he should be doing. He's 19. He's still got so much time. He's got so much potential. He'll come on today and he'll play. And, you know, it's just at the moment, he just prefers the other three. And it's a healthy competition.
Do you think Euro had a better game than Luke Shaw in that City game?
No, but when I went... No. Had a better game than Luke Shaw. I thought you said, did he have a worse game than Shaw? I think the whole back three were poor. People won't like it. I watched the game back in parts with Ricky, and even though Luke Shaw did get skinned twice and he was poor, he got put in them positions because De Ligt and Yoro weren't moving across to the left-hand side the way that they should have been. When you could see the way that City were doing it, and Ricky explained on the tactics board last week, when City were attacking us down the left-hand side, De Ligt and Yoro were over on the right still when they should have moved across. When they were getting attacked down the right-hand side, Luke Shaw was moving across and helping them. So Luke Shaw was poor. Nobody really played that well in that game. I think De Ligt massively stepped up in that Chelsea game. He was fantastic. Yoro did well when he came on. Shaw was really good in the Chelsea game. But the whole back three just weren't good enough in that City game. I think there was a bit of fear in them and they didn't want to press up into the midfield, and it left the midfield exposed and it left the centre-backs exposed a lot. So yeah, Luke Shaw was bad in the City game, but I think as well what part of parcel what comes into it is Amorim just likes having a left footer on that left-hand side as well, which is probably another reason why he gets picked.
Yeah. I think that me personally, I think that's kind of the main reason. I think the left-footed thing is a big thing. A lot of managers nowadays just love having a left footer on the left-hand side, which is understandable. It's something it just makes sense when you understand how playing up from the back. You know, just the way our left footers can kind of pass it into them channels. That makes sense. But for me, the frustration with Luke Shaw, and it goes back to what I was saying before about Harry Maguire. If we're actually building for the future, as in we're trying to build for next season, the season after that, do we think Luke Shaw is going to be our starting centre-back in the next 2-3 years?
In the long term?
No.
Realistically, no.
We need to win games now.
You say that, but is Lenny Yoro the reason why we're not winning games? No.
No, I'm not saying that.
I know you're not saying that, but that argument would only make sense if that was the case. Like if the case was, if Lenny Yoro was playing games and we were losing games because of him, then I'd be like, you know what, fair enough. We need to play a centre back that knows what they're doing. But that's not the case, though. The case is that it's not a situation where the other players are causing us to be 10 times worse. It's more. I genuinely don't even see that much of a difference between, you know, when Lenny Yoro plays or when Luke Shaw plays. I don't see it as like a huge fall off. Sometimes I feel like Lenny Yoro actually has better games than him, especially last season. I think the end of last season, especially. I remember when Lenny Yoro got injured at the end of last season and he came back for the final. And he's probably one of our better players. So I look at it and I think he can do pretty much everything that Luke Shaw can do. The only difference is he's not left-footed. Fair enough, but it's not a drop off in quality. So I don't see why we're again. Amorim trusting or he's kind of wanting to rely on more with players who will not be here in the future rather than players who are here right now, will be here in the future and can also do just as much, if not more, than the players that he's picking.
Yoro's young, he's 19, and James has just said Yoro generational talent should play Maguire and Shaw in 2025, and I understand that point, and that's what Morty's saying, but there's no rush. He's 19, he is going to be a starter in this team.
You always forget he's so young, don't you?
Sometimes when you really need points on the board, the manager will refer back to senior players, especially if them senior players have had a really good game together against Chelsea. It's just going to happen that way. And I don't want this to be a slight on Yoro because I like Yoro. I think he's got so much ability. I'm so glad we signed him. And if he started today, I'd be happy with it. I think he's really good. But if you ask me now who is a better player, I still believe Luke Shaw is a better player. I do. I think Yoro does. I think Yoro will get there and will probably go ahead of him. But
at this moment in
time, on the left side of a three at the back, I probably, if the option was there, I do think Luke Shaw just gives you that little bit more. But that's just my opinion. People will disagree with that, and a lot of people do. I do think Yoro last season was absolutely excellent, especially in the second half of the season. But do you remember at the start when he started easing him in, coming off the bench, trusting him in them minutes, and he was excellent. Came on against Chelsea, was going into the midfield really well. I think that's what will happen now is he'll come off the bench because he likes to sub a centre back on, and he'll win his starting place back. He's a good player, and he's a good headache for him to have. I do think it's a good headache for him to have, and everyone's got a different opinion on this. Yeah. But I think most of them would agree with you, Mods, to be honest with you. We have why Mohammed says, why fans still expect Lamans is number one. Amorim mentioned early, clearly during PI he sees Lamans as number one, but a lot of potential. Femi Smith says, you guys blame Amorim for Player FC. Well, you guys are very Player FC. Maud, you said that there isn't much of a difference when Shaw plays and when Yoro plays, so what's the problem with Shaw playing ahead of Yoro? I think you were talking more about the future, weren't you?
Yeah, if you listen to my argument, my whole argument was literally about if we're trying to build up for the future, if we're trying to build up and try and make these players better, like the same thing with Manu, same thing with Yoro, we want these players to play a lot better, then why are we kind of, and this is only based on the fact that if Luke Shaw is going to be our starting centre back for the whole season, or Maguire is going to be our starting centre back for the whole season, fair enough. If that is the case, then that's the argument I'm trying to make. If it's just going to be a case of like this one game, and then maybe next game Yoro comes back and he's back starting, then you know what's cool. I mean, that's fine. We're only playing one game a season anyway. There's only so much you can do. But yeah, like I said, if it is a case of like these are going to be our starting centre backs, it just doesn't make sense for the future if we have a player like Lenny Yoro just sat on the bench.
It's only 2 games, but
what I mean,
but
yeah.
he will come back in, and it's you've got to play well to start in your team, and it's going to be interesting to see how it does play out. But we are now joined outside the GMX with Billy, Brentford fan. Billy, thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good. How are you doing? How are you feeling? You confident? Nervous?
Yeah, no, I'm not too bad. Like I said to you, I'm actually from the Besotted podcast. I know we had the man Andy Mitten, who's on the latest edition of our podcast. Actually, went out today on Pride of West London. If you check it out, we actually recorded it back here. That's
nice.
Our new pub is called the Steam Packet. Actually, look, check this out. Brentford is one of the best away days, right? I mean, look at this. Look at this for a view. Let's just look at this for a view. Right, it's outside the Boozer. There we go, right by the River Thames. All pubs down the river. You can't beat this as an away day. It's absolutely wicked, like I'm saying. So when your United fans come down, you can wear your colours. You know, you can have a laugh down there. We just like to have a laugh, have a beer, watch the football, watch the game, have a chat and everything like that. So how am I feeling? We've got this phrase, kick football out of football. And especially after we got smashed up by Fulham last week, who were our biggest rivals, we had to kick football out of football so badly that day because we were terrible. We really were. We were so bad, you know. And for us to lose against Fulham is not a great thing. But coming back on that, you have to think about it. We've got a new manager, okay? Our old head coach, manager, Thomas Frank, we loved him to death. He's the type of person that if we're doing a podcast down the pub, he'd come down the pub and sit with us and talk to us for 3 hours on the podcast. Brilliant bloke, great tacticians. He's gone. He's then taken all his backroom staff with him as well. All our backroom staff, he's nicked them, taken them to Tottenham. We've lost our top striker, who's gone to you, Brian Mbeumo, who we love. Great player, and we wish him all the best, I have to say, other than today, of course. You know what I'm saying? We've got the Weasley the Snake, who went on strike, so he's gone off. We've got our captain's gone to Arsenal. You know, to be fair to Keith Andrews, who's a rookie manager, he hasn't got the kind of best hand of cards that he started with Brentford today. So our form is a little bit being up and down. So I'm going to be honest with you, I've got no idea what it's going to be like against you lot today. But what I will say is that when we have a bad game, we always have a comeback. And when we had a bad game against Forest, we were terrible. Come back against Villa, they're not great. You know what I'm saying? And then Bournemouth, you know, we were good. You know what I'm saying? So all I'm saying, we have a comeback. And also, we seem to raise our game against the inverted commas so-called bigger side. So all I'm going to say is that, listen, I'll be in here for a couple of hours. I'm having a laugh anyway. I'm doing my kick football out of football. Let's see how it goes.
Love that, Billy. I love that. Also, can I join you next season? I'm coming down for a Brentford away game. We're all coming down. Yeah. We'll do the show from down there with you.
Listen, you're all invited. What we say to you is that our word is manners, okay? We like football people who just want to talk about football, you know, none of this foolishness. So if you want to come down there, talk football, you know, you'll find out about Brentford, we find out about Man United. We're all good with that. You come down there, like I said to you, you can wear your colours. You know, there's no bouncers on the door or none of that foolishness. So we don't do that stuff down here. We kind of respect people for who they are. And if you're going to come down here and respect us, we respect you. So you're more than welcome to come down here next season. We'll open arms. We'll come down there. We can have a party together, you know what I'm saying? Before the game, anyway.
Love that big away day coming up, hopefully. I mean, we've had some interesting results against Brentford in the past, and you absolutely are right. You guys do raise your game against the so-called top 6. I mean, you put United in that category, but 15th place last season, so I'm not sure if we kind of resemble that in terms of quality. But we have got Brian Mbeumo now. What a signing he's been for us. How much of a threat do you think he'll be for United today?
Listen, Brian's a brilliant player. I mean, I've seen him from when he started at Brentford, and I remember when he first started. And you know, I remember speaking to the powers to be, you know, and they were talking about him. They said he's a very, very talented player. And then we saw him playing his first season, couple of seasons, and you know, he was good, but he was kind of like, you know, this is in the Championship, don't forget, as well. Brilliant, but then there's certain things that, you know, he wasn't quite doing quite right. I mean, okay, are you sure about this player? Are you sure about this player? The thing about Brentford is that we're long-term planners. So when we buy players, when we get managers, whatever we do, we don't do it for 3 months or 6 months. We look 2-3 years down the line. And they're just saying, as far as we're concerned, he ticks certain boxes for us, but he's only young. And he's going to get better. He's going to be a very, very good player for us. He was part of the BMW, who you may or may not know about. In the Championship, we have 3 players, Mbeumo, Watkins and Ben Rama, okay? And between them, they scored, I think it was 54 goals in one season. They were unbelievable. As an attacking force, they were unbelievable. And you saw Brian grow and grow and grow as a player. And then, we've come into the Premier League and then he's grown even more. I think what's happened is that he really benefited from Ivan Toney. Obviously, everyone knows who Ivan Toney is. Ivan Toney, great goal scorer, but then when he got, he came out of the picture due to his gambling nonsense that he did. It enabled Mbeumo to become almost like a main man, and he became a main man as well as Wisa for Brentford, and it actually upped his game. So, how much of a danger is he going to be? He's going to be unbelievable danger. We know what he's like. Gets the ball, goes down the wing, always cuts in, we have to say, because he is one-footed, but always cuts in, but still, he is the danger, and we need to know how to deal with him. But I would like to think that the players have played with him for long enough, or some of them have, that they'll know, kind of what his strengths and his weaknesses are.
Yeah, it's really good insight. I mean, Moj, you have something to ask to Billy as well.
Yeah, Billy, how you doing, man?
I'm good, man.
I love the pine. I'm loving the pine as well.
I love the little pine every time. I got a couple of questions. First one, just on the Mbeumo stuff. You mentioned about how he kind of stepped up when Ivan Toney kind of came out of the picture. Is he the kind of player, just from a United insight, is he the kind of player that you feel like he performs better when he is the main guy, or do you feel like he is a better player when he's almost the second option or the third option?
I think that just gave him the opportunity to step his game up, but he's also very much a team player. The partnership with him and Wisa was great. Him and Norgard, how Norgard play you. He's very, very much a team player. So at the end of the day, it's not like, maybe like Isak or, they've got certain players like, I am the main man. It's all about me. He's not. If you look about him, Brentford have got this. They've got a lot of kind of unwritten rules about how we go about our business. So one of the rules is no dickheads. We've got a no dickheads policy. Sometimes people slip through the net, but in general, we'll stat looking for a player, then we'll scout them, and then we'll do the background checks. And if we feel that they've got some dickhead qualities, we won't sign them. So even if they're the best player in the world, other than maybe the top 3 or 4 elite maybe players like that, for us, it doesn't kind of suit Brentford as a club, because if you notice, all the players that we have in general are quite sensible. If you meet them, it's very different from Brentford 2013, which was like, the dressing room. Right, mate, how you doing? Like, this is how it goes. Right, we run in this dressing room. It's not like that at all. And we've put all these ethoses into place. So Brian Mbeumo very much fits into that no ticket policy. If you look at him, he's focused, he's got manners, he'll turn up on time for training, he'll do whatever you ask him to do promotion-wise. On the pitch, if the manager says you play out wide, you do that. If you sit down the middle, he'll do whatever you want to. And for me, I think that's really, really important to have players like that in your side who haven't got egos, but are just willing to go out there and do the job that they have to do. And I think that's the reason why he's got as far as he has. He's a brilliant player and a lovely bloke.
Love that. I love that. Do you want to go?
I've got one more question. I wanted to ask about, obviously, I've not watched a lot of Brentford this season, but I know you guys obviously made a few signings. I want to know, what is your biggest threat today? I know obviously about the Damsgaard, and obviously we've seen Henderson in the past, but who out of the new guys that you've got is your biggest threat against United?
Again, it's not. Tell you what our biggest threat is. I'll be honest with you. Is Damsgaard is brilliant, okay? But the fact is, again, Damsgaard, and he said this, if he was at any other club, he signed for us. We took 2 years to get him to where he is now. We signed him he scored the goal against England in the Euros match. That was at Wembley in the semi-final for Denmark. Right, we thought, brilliant, we've got Damsgaard. He came to us and we were like, oh my God, who is this player? He was underweight. He kind of was knocked off the ball. He was terrible, and he even admits it himself. And we were giving him 10 minutes here, 5 minutes there, and we were like, what a waste of money is that buying that Damsgaard? The fans were, because that's what you do. But Brentford, typical Brentford, don't worry, we believe in him. He's going to grow with us. It took him 2 years to get to that stage. Now, I'll tell you something, he is absolutely on fire. The guy is on fire, and he's one of those players where if he's not playing, we really do miss him. We miss him massively. So, for me, I'm saying, Damsgaard is a player that you need to look out for. Another player that you may need to look out for as well is, it's interesting, Ouattara. We bought Ouattara from Bournemouth, record signing 40 odd million. He's meant to be in Mbeumo's, he's going to take over from Mbeumo. The fact is that he's probably 6 months away, so we see these little touches from him down the wing, what he can do, but we're still not quite sure as to kind of like, where he's at. You know, as in like some games he looks quite good, then other games he's like, he's not quite sure. So he's quite interesting. I tell you who we've got though is defensively against Fulham, we were terrible. I mean, I'm not being funny, but you must have seen the game on the TV. We made so many mistakes like against Fulham. And we flipped it around a bit defensively, but we've had a couple of defenders that have been out for 2 years. We've had Rico Henry, he's been out for 2 years, so we've really missed him. And we've also had Aaron Hickey, Scottish international, out for 2 years. I've just seen the team, and Aaron Hickey is now put in at left back, I think, to stabilise things. He's a very, very good defender. So we've got him at left back, which is quite good. We've got Collins, he's been brilliant for us, but then he was like he's doing some sort of comedy show down at Fulham, you know what I'm saying? So there's lots and lots of, there's lots of players that we've got who they play very well, but then sometimes they're kind of off their game. So I've given you examples of something, a few players to look out for. But, I haven't mentioned Thiago, who was the Ivan Toney replacement. We got him, he's a Brazilian. We played one game for us in pre-season friendly against AFC Wimbledon a year ago, got injured. What we do is we buy players that get injured after a game. We don't see him for 2 years. He got injured. He's now just back after a year. He hasn't quite got to the heights where he's scored a few goals, but we'll see exactly what he's like. So those are a few players I've given you a little heads up on.
Thank you so much, Billy. Just to wrap things up, I want to ask you quickly your score prediction, and also we always ask our opposition fan this. If you could have one United player for Brentford's team, who would you pick?
Mbeumo.
Right, okay, you're going to give me a small prediction. I'm going to go back over the booster now as well, because they've got the music playing up here. What I'd say to you before I say this as well, don't forget Pride of West Scott in London. We've got it, BWSOTTED podcast. Check it out. We've got a Man United preview on there with Andy Mitten is on there as well, which is all good. And like I said to you, we've got the Sting Packet, which is our boozer. Check that out if you come down. Score predictions. On the podcast, I actually gave, and you're going to go, where's coming from here? But we had a little evening here on Wednesday night. I went for 1-0 for Brentford, actually, because I just think that we were so bad against Fulham, we can't be as bad as that anymore. We've tightened it up at the back, and we'll nick a goal. So that's what I've gone for, 1-0. You're going to say, if I had any player that I could have from Brentford, you're going to laugh at me. I'm going to say Brian and Mbeumo.
I knew you'd say that.
Back all day long.
Thank you so much, Billy. Enjoy your day. Thank you so much for coming on, and we'll see you soon.
Cheers, Billy.
Thanks, Billy.
Cheers.
Bye. Have a good one. Brilliant from Billy, that. Brilliant stuff. He was absolutely class. Loved to see the atmosphere. Loved it. How good was he?
Yeah,
Are we all going down for an away day or
We
what?
actually should.
And we need to.
I love this no dickhead policy.
Yeah.
Good job they don't have one of them at the United stand. They won't let me in it.
Countdown to kick-off with Billy next season.
Wow.
Thank you everyone for staying with us as well. Loads of you guys loving Billy who are watching, and as well, smash a like on the video for Billy. Great opposition fan. Love it when we get great insight.
It's great to
like
get
that.
from the opposition fan kind of thing. I'm just seeing him having a pint and down by the river or whatever. So it's great that.
Football culture. Smash a like on the video. Thank you for all the love in the comments. We've got loads of super chats coming in as well. We're going to do our players to watch. We're going to do our score predictions. So stay tuned. We've got the last 8 minutes here before we hand over to Mr. Goldbridge. Tyrone B says, could be a huge win today. Big up Beth, Maud, Kev and the team. Billy seems like a top bloke. George Lulian says, Rashford is part of the England team. Why are we praying he'll do well in Barca so we can sell him? Honestly, why is Manu so highly rated? I'm very curious. Well, there are questions that you guys can answer to George in the comments there. I mean, Rashford doesn't fit Amorim's system as good as he can be, and I think Manu showed last season how rated he is and what he did for England as well. Femi Smith says, you guys blame Amorim for Player FC. Well, you guys are Player FC. We've done that one. And why... Mohammed says fans are expecting Lamans as number one. Yes, we are. It will happen at some point. I think patience is just key in this one. Aidan Lee says, Cunha scores, I will be back. And a lot of people buzzing about Cunha, Bruno and Sesko all playing together with Mbeumo in there as well. We've got the big attacking players in the starting 11. People are happy about it. Just on the poll as well, you can check there. Are you happy with the team? Would you have made changes? Not bad. Let us know your thoughts. And also, everyone, as well, after you've watched the watch along with Goldbridge, countdown to kick off, watch along, with Goldbridge. You've got the fans forum as well. But after that, 3 p.m, you have got Goldbridge covering multiple games on That's Football. You have Chelsea versus Brighton, City versus Burnley, and obviously the big one, which I'll be keeping an eye on as well, Crystal Palace versus Liverpool. Big matchup, that one, at Selhurst Park. Don't miss out. But players to watch, people. Players to watch. Kev, give me a player to watch today.
I went with Luke Shaw as one of mine, which is good because it brings into that topic of Luke Shaw. I really don't understand. A lot of United fans just don't get it. And people are talking about player FC and favourites and this and that. I don't really class him as a favourite. I just think in that back three, and yes, the people that don't like Luke Shaw will say, look at the City game, but who was good in that City game? Yes, Luke Shaw was appalling. So were others. You could argue, everybody was bad. Nobody come out holding the head high. But I think against Chelsea, the one thing I'll say about Luke Shaw, he always comes out and fronts up to the press as well whenever he's asked. What are you laughing at?
I'm looking at Morsey's face, he's sat like that.
Shaw
talking, he's like...
We'll extend it.
I don't hate Shaw.
The thing is, right, when Roy Keane speaks, he'd be enough to send anyone under and maybe never play football again. He was very damning of Luke Shaw. And for Luke Shaw to actually respond and say, of course you heard the criticism, I'll come back, I'll try and improve, I'll try and be better. And he was against Chelsea. I thought he played really well. So Luke Shaw will be my one to watch for the
game. We'll get in who yours is as well. You guys comment yours and I'll read some out. Just a couple more super chats. Rianio Diaz says, would you play Mount over Bruno in midfield?
No.
We have Anthony Taylor saying Bruno misplaces a pass at 10 and we'd get countered. I mean, it happens with creative players. It happens with other teams as well. It's just part of football. And you want to do it less and less, of course, but sometimes that's the price you pay for a bit of creativity. BR says, had a dream where United win 5-0. Well, I hope it's a premonition. King D, SOT, says the reason Bruno and Kobe will never work is because they both lack positional discipline. Both want to get forward too much, leaving the midfield overexposed. I don't think Amorim is willing to play them two together for that reason, especially away from home too. And Cody W says Højlund's fault for 0 goals from the striker right. I mean, bringing Højlund into it is in the past, and also just to give Sesko the benefit of the doubt, that's Derby was a bit of a write-off. Like he barely got any chances, and the whole team was off. And then against Chelsea, you got 45 minutes. I mean, it's not much time for him to really make an impact. Mods, play to watch.
I got 2 of them. I got one, Sesko. I think, like I mentioned before, this is probably a very, very good opportunity for him to really get a bit more experience in Premier League football, where it's not the most difficult opposition like City, etc. And also he's playing with, Mbeumo, he's playing with Cunha, he's playing with Bruno as well. He's got a good almost supporting cast behind him to give him the best opportunity to get a goal today. So I think Sesko, hopefully he'll score. But even if he doesn't score, I just want to see him have a good game in general. I want to see him, even if it's like, getting in behind or creating chances himself, like the flick-ons and stuff like that. I just want to see him have a good game and hopefully, like I said, he can get a goal. So Sesko, my first player. Second player, it's gonna... I wasn't saying Mbeumo, but that's just standard. I'm going to say Ugarte. Because I want to see what this Bruno and Ugarte midfield pairing actually looks like. Because realistically, we said it before, like, if it's not Casemiro, it almost feels like it just doesn't work, or it's just not going to work. You know what I mean? So I really want to see what Amorim is seeing in training, because it is going to be, it is based, he said it himself, that he's almost picking plays based on how they train. So whatever Amorim is seeing in training, I really want to see what that looks like on the pitch. So my second play to watch is Ugarte.
Took the words right out of my mouth. They were my 2 mods. So you took it away. No, you explained it brilliantly. I don't need to chip in with that one. So we've gone with Luke Shaw. We've gone with Benjamin Sesko. We've gone with Manuel Ugarte. Is there any other players we should be keeping an extra eye on today?
Maybe the goalkeeper.
Let us know. I mean, I don't think there's any hope left with that. To be honest with you, I think it's just a waiting game to when Larman's coming back in.
Mbeumo was my second one. And I think it's quite fitting what Billy... I like what Billy said then, because for a player to leave your club, usually, especially at say a club like Brentford, where Mbeumo's like the main man, and to lose him's kind of unthinkable, but speaking so glowingly of him, and the words that the way he expressed and said he'd be welcome back any time, you know, a great player, and that it tells you a lot about the character himself.
Well, Keith Andrews has just spoken, the Brentford boss, on Bryan Mbeumo, and he has said this. So not only from a fan, from Billy, but from a manager as well. Bryan epitomises this football club. Given time, patience and support, last year's success was the culmination of his 6-year journey. With many at the club contributing to his development, he truly appreciates the fans and deserves a warm reception. So a glowing commentary from Keith Andrews on Bryan Mbeumo on how he is as a person and also as a player. And it's really good to know that he's a Red now, and you have got not only, in my opinion, a great player, but a player with a great mentality who's a good person. It's really good that you build good characters in the squad, and he is in addition to that. So
in stark contrast, you think last week Garnacho is returning to Old Trafford, you know what I mean? He's not going to get that sort of love and affection that Mbeumo will get today, and rightly so, because he went about things in the right way. You know, the way that he's done it. He wanted to leave. He said, I want to play for a bigger club. Yes, Brentford finished above us and all that. You can argue that. But at the end of the day, Manchester United is a huge pull. And Mbeumo's dream is to play in that red shirt, which is great. Yes, and finally, everyone, smash a like on the video before you head over to Goldbridge's stream. We're on 1.6k likes. Really want to push it to 2. There's nearly 14,000 of you watching. Come on, an extra 400. Smash a like, get it to 2,000. Thank you very much. It really does help us out over here. And on our final ending note, score prediction? 2-0 Manchester United.
3-1.
Everyone's overconfident today. I'm going with 2-1 Manchester United. Let's see. On the fans forum, we'll be back after Goldbridge's watch along, but go and head over to Goldbridge's watch along and infiltrate the comments with Mbeumo is back. Go with it in with Mbeumo is back. Smash like on the video. Thank you everyone for watching, and we will see you on the fans forum.